You've made your last delivery, kid. Sorry you got twisted up in this scene. From where you're kneeling must seem like an 18-carat run of bad luck. Truth is, the game was rigged from the start.
I guess the game truly is rigged from the start. The house always wins. You may win a little bit, you'll lose a lot, but in the end of it all, the house always wins. If you saw the trailer, look at this. Look at this trailer. Look at the splendor of it. The house won. Vegas is still standing. We were led to believe that was not the case, but I think that was actually the outskirts of New Vegas and Freeside. We got to see the Kings, Pacer mentioned. We got to see a Ghoul King doing the little Elvis Presley dance. I love it. I can't wait to hear what the Ghoul has to say about the King, if they can even do that, because, you know, big licensing deal with Elvis Presley. But who knows, man? Who knows? There's so much to devolve on. Also, is the guy who played in Eternals, is he Arthur Maxon? Is that what we're doing here? We do a look at this side-by-side comparison that I don't know how I feel about this. Is it gonna be good? It sounds like it. Is it gonna be kinda cringe? Probably, but this feels like Fallout. This feels like Fallout more than Fallout 4 feels like Fallout. But I'm very interested where this is gonna go. Norm is alive and well. We all love our small build gentlemen, don't we, ladies and small build, don't we, fellas and ladies? Norm is probably one of my favorite characters of the first season, and I can't wait to see what he does in the sequel. He's obviously very smart. He suspect all the way in intelligence. He finds a way out of that area, and buds. But there's just so much from this trailer that I really just want to gloss over. And so let's talk about it. Let's break down the Fallout Season 2 trailer.
So I've seen a lot of things.
Many a tear has to fall.
Crazy things.
But it's all
Unnatural things.
in the game.
But good people? No.
That girl I met.
All in the wonderful game.
I would be a good person too if I grew up in some cozy little impenetrable home. I have to steal and stab and fib all the goddamn time just to get by.
Just thing to note, this Thaddeus seemingly will make it to the end of this season. Whether he survives or not is great. I think that's gross. Clearly that was a mysterious serum that changed his entire life for the worse, and the Brotherhood would absolutely kill him if they found him. So who knows what's going to happen with Thaddeus and Maximus. I think good things, though. Now, probably the biggest thing about this starting section is Norm is still hacking away trying to get out of the area where that freak of abomination Bud is. And I know he clearly gets out because he finds a case to get out of and go up some ladders. And clearly the Vault Dweller's out into the great big world. But it's very interesting where they're going to take Norm's journey because of where they left him. And he looks great. He's figuring things out. We can only hope that Norm's got it under lock and key.
To get by.
What exactly is it you plan on doing once we find your daddy?
Gonna bring him to justice. So people know that how they conduct themselves matters. And they don't give up hope.
The stuff we fight for? Story has it you used to believe in those things too.
I've been wastelanding for 200 years. I've kept myself alive for one reason. To find my family.
Well then, you're gonna need friends. There's a war coming.
Soon he'll be there at your
I think it goes without saying that Lucy still has hope that things can work out like everything she's been taught, and we ultimately know that's not how it's gonna go, because this is the wild, unforgiving, harsh wasteland that Noble comes from. Also, we finally get clear view that it's the NCR. This NCR trooper is talking to Cooper how he used to believe in things, and the only thing he cares about is looking for his family. That is a vault probably in the Mojave we're familiar with. Who knows? And I don't know who that is, but I want to play this clip again real quick, because I think I know who that is, and that's kind of a big character drop.
To find my family.
Well then, you're gonna need friends. There's a war coming.
That is none of, with 99% certainty think that is none other than the GOAT himself, Marcus. He's been around the block. He saw the destruction of the Master. He saw the defeat of the Enclave. He's been around the block for a while. He's been around for a bit. And that would be so awesome if that's who the Ghoul's talking to and interacting with. As a big Fallout fan, he's such a deep cut to the world of Fallout. He's been around the block. What that means, I don't know for the super mutants at Jacobstown, but I think it's without a doubt the one and only Marcus. Just feels like almost certain that is him. Without a doubt. Maybe it's another super mutant, but I feel like if we're going to New Vegas, we're taking a part in this rich, unforgiving world, it has to be none other than the GOAT himself, Marcus. And that means more super mutants, because they teased that in the first season, so we're definitely going to see our boy. I know it. I just have to have faith that we will.
I've kept myself alive for one reason. To find my family.
Well then, you're gonna need friends. There's a war coming.
Soon he'll be there at your side. With a sweet bouquet.
I understand we're discussing a civil war. I must not have gotten my invitation.
And he'll kiss your lips.
Okay, either he's Maximum or he's someone in a high-ranking position like him. He also says there's a civil war going, so clearly the opposing factions of the Brotherhood, as they all come together on Area 51, are all having issues on how best to lead. And I think the guy that was a big a supporter of Maximus, the old guy, is part of the reason why there's a civil war brewing. I think he is clearly not a good guy. I think he wants power, and that's all he cares about. So we'll just have to see as this season unfolds. I think it's very interesting that the Pacers chose to turn into ghouls. Now, we don't know the reasoning behind it, what made them. Maybe it was House using radiation to turn them all to ghouls and try to kill the people at Freesled. I don't know. It'd be very interesting how they're going to play this out. Maybe we'll see Pacer. Maybe we'll hear something on what happened to the king. I think Pacer is probably the one alive, because he seemed most likely to survive whatever was coming. So it'll be very interesting where they take this little story route with the kings. But also maybe we get some mention of the one true king, Elvis Presley. Who knows, man, but I'm excited. This looks pretty sick. Also, moments before imminent disaster. So I think the thing to note that the one standing on the hill is most likely Norm, and that's you could see Norm getting out, so possibly leading the Vault Rollers to a new location, which will ultimately converge on New Vegas, maybe, or somewhere else entirely. We don't know. It'll be very interesting how they play this out. But I think it's interesting that Norm is resourceful, he knows what he's doing, and he's going to get his friends away from the Enclave. But it makes me question, she played in Deadpool. I'm interested how she's going to stand up to Norm and what she's going to do to try to stop the Vault Rollers from leaving. It's a lot to think of and a lot to ponder of, but only time will tell what's going to happen.
Your lips and caress your waiting.
We're actually beginning to get along.
And your hearts will fly.
try again.
Now, there's a lot going on in this, obviously. Clearly, the ghoul gives Lucy up. There's Mr. House in all his glory. So it kind of makes you wonder how this story's going to derail. And also, Power Fist, baby. The Legion getting attacked. The Brotherhood. Like I said her earlier. It'd be very interesting where they take this route and this journey. Now, the things that I note are... let's kind of look at them. The big things that popped up in this section. The House always wins. I mentioned this at the beginning of the video, but clearly the House won. I don't know how I feel about the movement, but again, I'll let it slide for artistic reasons. But it's very interesting how they're going to play this out. Did the Courier ever show up? Did everything... well, honestly, the Courier had to show up, because without the Courier, none of this would have happened. So clearly, they'll probably make mention of the Courier. They'll probably say that the Courier helped House because he seemed the most logical compared to the NCR or the Legion or even Yes Man. There's probably going to be some mentions to Benny and all that. So I'll be very interested how they're going to take this journey. I think that's a pretty big thing to make this sort of leap about House being the victor, because it really changes the narrative up of the story of New Vegas, that this is the ultimate way it goes. And clearly the Securitron's having that military face is a good indication that he got the Platinum ship, was able to take Hoover Dam. Maybe there's really just no telling where they're going to take it, but I like it. I like that there may be a concrete ending. I know what you say, Twitchy, that's not New Vegas. Again, I understand, but I think we need a finite ending to how things went out. And honestly, I think House just seems the most logical with what he wants to do, even if it isn't in the best interest of the Wasteland. So I'll be very interested where they're going to take this story, with seemingly Mr. House being the canon ending, with some possible changes to it. There's probably going to be a lot of changes to it. Maybe there were certain things that happened from other endings that happened with the Mr. House, with Mr. House being a victor. Like, clearly Freeside's in worse repair, so that's a good indication that things aren't good for Freeside. But there's really just no telling where they're going to take this, and I'm cautiously optimistic of where they're going to take House and this journey we find ourselves on with Fallout Season 2. He looks great, man. I think they nailed the casting for Mr. House. I think he's going to be a good Mr. House. At least that's what I hope for. Yeah, I like this because it really shows how much Lucy has changed from her early days of Season 1, exploring on the wasteland, to straight up killing someone with a power fist. It's kind of insane. I don't know if it's the same way where she's talking about how they thought they were just getting along. It kind of looks similar, but I'm very interested in who's on the receiving end of this and why. Currently, Lucy is completely different from her early days, and something has greatly changed her, but that's just the wasteland. It changes even the most noblest of people. So that's kind of insane to me. I think that's pretty awesome that she's really getting in her grit and really showing what she's capable of when all bets are off. So I'll be very interested where they're going to take her character. If this is the beginning of the season or close to the end, who knows at this point. All I know is I love everything about it. Now, Maximus's friend does not look happy. In fact, none of them look happy. So clearly the top dog, the top brass, Arthur Maximus, showed up and is not happy with things are being run. Particularly the old guy who clearly just wants power for himself. And we sort of get that idea towards the end of the season where he's talking to Maximus about taking this power because he feels like the Brotherhood has lost its way. And I think there may be a clashing of heads between the leadership of the Brotherhood and the old guy whose name I can't remember. So I'd be very interested where this is going to take us. There's Maximus's friend. They are probably going to feel betrayed that Maximus didn't really do all the things that he did, and it'll have some conflict. It'd be very interested where this is going to take the Brotherhood and where their journey is going to end at the end of Season 2. Now, we kind of have pretty good idea she's part of Bud's Buzz. She's part of the Vault Tech group that was preserved in Cryobots. And clearly, she's very sinister, is going to try and stop Norm. I wouldn't be shocked if they all rise up, kill her, or if Norm's the one to do it. But it almost seems like there's going to be this big confrontation that leads them out of the vault towards wherever they're going. I don't know. I'm very interested where her story is going to end. I don't think it's going to be a good ending at all. maybe she is part of the Enclave and she goes to Enclave to capture people, a la Fallout 2. There's no telling, but I'd be very interested where they're going to take her. And who knows, it could be, her death could be pretty brutal and gnarly, and I'm kind of looking forward to it. I think it's something to note that this is clearly what's left of Caesar's Legion. It's a pretty big deal, it's pretty important. That's where Macaulay Culkin's character, the new Caesar, because he's wearing the golden laurel, so obviously he's taking up the mantle. Is it Mr. Fantastic? Would it be a big twist as Arcade Gannon? Who knows? Wouldn't that be an interesting, just end-all be-all knife in the dagger moment? So I'll be very interested where they're going to take the Caesar Legion. Clearly, after Caesar's death, everything collapsed. Which Joshua Graham said it best, that Caesar's Legion would collapse without Caesar. And I'd be very interested how they're going to take that approach for his character and what they're going to do with him. And clearly, this part right here is kind of a big indicator of what's going on. He's clearly killing one of his legions for some reason. He looks roughed up. He looks messed up. So there's no telling how they're going to end Caesar's Legion, but I don't think it's going to end well for him. I think they'll ultimately be destroyed, go back to the way they were before without Caesar's Legion. I'm saying Caesar's Legion a lot, forgive me. So I'll be very interested in how they're going to approach this. I can't wait. I'm not, obviously I'm not a fan of Caesar's Legion, so seeing them get what they deserve is ultimately a win-win in my book. And I think we can all agree it's a win-win in everyone's book.
So this is Vegas, huh? I'd ask why my dad ran into a den of monsters, but he'd probably just tell me to shut the fudge up.
Now, I'm so glad Thaddeus survives towards, obviously, the end of the show, because I like Thaddeus. He was an interesting character. So, clearly that's Maximus in the armor standing with the ghoul. I think that's pretty sick. So Maximus, everybody from Freeside standing together, obviously, to stand against whatever is coming, House, whatever, Legion, Brotherhood, whatever's going to happen. It's all culminating in this final moment. And this rocks, dude. I love everything about it. And I can't wait to see how this final battle in New Vegas, of all places, ultimately takes place. I don't know, there's just something about this show that I'm super excited for. I love everything that it's doing. It's hitting all those bells and whistles of how to do a proper live action. And I think we can all agree, more is sometimes always better. Why is she running? That's all I want to know. What is she running from? Is it her betrothed-to-be turned out to be a psychopath? Or is it Buds? You know, she played in Deadpool. I can't ever think of her name as a character. Is she on the offensive? Is that what's going on here? I don't know, but kind of makes you wonder where this story is going, and that makes them leave the vault, or if she even survives. Be very interested in what they have planned for Vault 33 and Vault 32, and of course it's nothing good for obvious reasons. I really love that outlook of New Vegas, obviously Las Vegas. I don't even know if they'll mention it and call it New Vegas. Who knows? It'd be nice to pay homage to what came before, but if you're a New Vegas fan, you're probably not going to like this show anyway. But I love that this guy somehow, despite all odds, makes it to New Vegas. Makes it to Las Vegas. What is he even doing here, man? What is the point of his character? Maybe he's just going to show up and get shot. I don't know. It'd be very interesting what they have planned for him. He's a very interesting character, to say the least, and he's the reason that Maximus somehow survived. So, be very interested to see where they're going to take this journey with him, if at all, if he's just going to be fodder for the final battle. So, to me, this looks like a fat man going off, a mini nuke blowing up, or maybe some other explosion. I'd be pretty hype if this was a fat man. Clearly, this is at Novak, so they don't really know what's going on with Novak, like I talked in my other previous. I think we touched on it a little bit, so I'd be very interested in what the cause is of why Novak is the way it is, why there's so much blood and guts and violence going on. I'd be very interested in what a lot of the settlements, like Goodsprings, we know they go to Goodsprings, we know all that, so Be very interested to see what they're going to do with this story, with all familiar settlements and all that sweet, sweet jazz. Now this is after Lucy is clearly in Hank's and Mr. House's possession. I shouldn't say possession. I guess the ghoul gives Lucy off to her after she's been captured by Caesar Legion. Like, there's just so much we don't know, but seeing her just drive away is pretty funny. It really goes and point that Lucy is funny. She's entertaining. So everything she does without the ghoul, I find, is interesting, to say the least. So kind of interested where this is at point in the story, maybe towards the end of the season, maybe if not in the final episode or close to it. There's just so many moving pieces. We really don't know what they're going to do with Caesar. We don't know what they're going to do with Mr. House. We don't know what they're going to do with the NCR or the Brotherhood. There's just so many moving pieces, and by God am I excited to see where they take it. Probably one of my favorite things about this new season is Deathclaws, more enemies, like more rad scorpions, maybe geckos, maybe tunnelers. So seeing Maximus in that super freaking awesome, I guess, NCR Power Ranger armor is pretty sick. There's no telling how he gets it at this point, or even if it is NCR Power armor. There's just so much they can do with this, to be honest. I love everything that they're working with. Seeing this side by side is just pretty intense. Seeing the Deathclaw and clearly Maximus duking it out. I can't wait to see how this goes, and I hope it's done particularly well. Man, I'm excited for this show. I think they're really gonna fire on all cylinders with what they're doing, man. It's just gonna be hype as crap. Now we see it. That's Freeside. New Vegas is still standing, so it kind of makes you wonder, how did this end go? Did the courier, seeing the only logical conclusion, help House, and then House realizing what kind of man the courier really is takes him out? I don't know, but this has me hyped. I can't wait to see how this journey takes us. We see the Securitron, members of Freeside, so I'll be very interested in where they're going with this story. And I, for one, I know a lot of people are excited to see what they're going to do with New Vegas. We all are. Let's just be hopeful. I think this show is gonna rock, and I think it's gonna be better than season 1 ever was. I don't know where this journey is gonna take us for season 2. I'm excited for New Vegas. I know a lot of us are, and I know we all want to be hopeful and optimistic. Season 1 was a banger. I think they understood the assignment, and I think season 2, which is essentially a sequel to New Vegas, is gonna be wonderful. It's gonna be amazing, and it's gonna be fantastic. It's gonna fire on all cylinders, and I think we are all hyped for it. We're nervous about it. How are they gonna approach it? But I think we can all be ready for this, guys. I think they're gonna cook. I think they're gonna do amazingly well, and I think we got to be ready for it, whatever it may be, whatever it's gonna change. Let's get hyped. But that's it, guys. This is the video. I want to hear from y'all. What are you looking forward to the most about season 2, which is essentially a sequel to New Vegas? Let me know what your thoughts are, what you're looking forward to more than anything. Is it the locations? Is it the new super mutants? Is it the Deathclaws? Is it just seeing familiar locations that we all know and love? Let me know down below. And of course, if you enjoyed the content, hit that like button. Helps your boy get into the algorithm. If you're feeling super generous, maybe, just maybe, consider subscribing and turning on notification bells to keep updated when I post. But that's it. That's the video. I love you all. I'll see you all in the next one. Take it easy.